Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. My name is Renee and thank you for being here today. I have lots of rhubarb coming. It is just coming like gangbusters. So I am going to make one of my vintage recipes. This is from the 80s. My mom gave it to me after I first got married, the first time. And it's a rhubarb crunch. My dad loved rhubarb. Mom was like allergic to it, make her sick. So she didn't like it. So she made it once for Dad, and she tried it and got sick and gave me the recipe. So I am going to make it today in a foil pan because I think I'm going to take it into work. I have a bunch of rhubarb here, and you have to fill it 2/3 full with just the rhubarb. And I did spray some ham in the bottom. So come along, let's make rhubarb crunch. So I have some rhubarb here that I picked, and you want to cut it kind of into bite-sized pieces and just spread it out in the pan. So some of my stalks are bigger, so I'm going to split them in half. Oops. This recipe has half a pack of strawberry jello in it. It helps to give it the color because my rhubarb is basically a green rhubarb. It's not the rhubarb that's red all the way through. Rhubarb is a springtime fruit actually it's a vegetable that grows in Michigan very easily. I think it grows in the northern parts of the United States easily. I don't think it grows well in Florida. I think that's too hot. By the time we get to midsummer here, ours does not produce as well. But in the spring and early summer, if you keep picking it the proper way, where you take and you pull, twist and pull rather than cut it off, it'll keep growing back a lot. So I usually freeze some. This year I'm going to can some to have it ready for pies and coffee cakes. And I made rhubarb juice. It's a ball recipe. It's a concentrate. Almost done. I will bring you back. Okay, I have the pan filled. So next what we add is we add 2/3. Let me read. My mom's writing is a little difficult. Fill it 2/3 up. Sprinkle in a small pack of red jello and 1 cup of white sugar. Okay. So, I didn't bring my sugar over. When my kids were young, it's loud. I have a little bit in here that wouldn't fit in my container, so I thought, well, I'll use that out. So sprinkle with that. 1 cup of sugar. Then I have a box of jello, and we use a half of this. Kind of holding in the middle there to okay. The rest can be used for a second one. So you need 1 stick of oleo, it says. I'm using butter. No oleo. And I softened this some, but a little too much. I just didn't want it quite so hard. That I shouldn't have done quite as much. 1 cup of brown sugar. One cup of all-purpose flour. This is a 1/4 cup, so I need 4 of these. 2/3 a cup of oatmeal. Going to mix this up. It will turn crumbly, streusely, you know. Sometimes I even use my hands, which are clean. You can use a pastry cutter. But you want it to get kind of like pea-size little lumps. So my kids used to like this for breakfast. I would make it, and then they would eat it for breakfast, the leftovers. They liked apple crisp too for breakfast. Figure, hey, it's oatmeal and it's fruit. Could be worse. Mom wasn't a big baker. The few recipes I have from her that are baked goods were like her mother's or grandma or mother-in-law's. She taught me how to bake, and I was the one that took over that job in the family. She had a ceramic shop, which I've mentioned before, but I would do baking for her Christmas parties. The cookies and treats she'd have a Christmas party for each one, and she would make all this food for them to thank them. And I would make the treats. She actually liked baking more as she got older. In one year, okay, this is going to date me. This is definitely 1970s. I made all her stuff, and my reward was she got me a puka shell necklace. I was begging that year for a puka shell choker. And oh man, she got me one. Her and Dad did. I was so darn excited. It's funny, the things that you remember. Okay, now we bring this back over. And we want to mix about 2/3 of this in with the rhubarb jello and sugar. So you gotta stir it in. And rhubarb gets quite juicy when it cooks. So I think this helps thicken it and absorb it up. And rhubarb's available during the season in grocery stores usually. But if you have a neighbor who has a rhubarb patch, sometimes you get so much you can't use it all. And so local people will sell it or give it away. Kind of like zucchini, you know. I don't have my oven preheating. Let me turn it on, 350. Pat this all down. Now we sprinkle the rest on top. There we go, it's all even. I need to wash my hands. I am going to put this in the oven. It takes about 45 minutes. Now bring it back when I take it out. The timer went off and it's done. Let me bring it down. There we go. Let it set for a few minutes. Gets a nice pink color from the jello. And you can add Cool Whip or ice cream on top. It's tart, sweet, and the top is crunchy. I will put the recipe down below. And if you like this video, if you push the like button, it really helps my channel. And if you want to see more vintage recipes and recipes on canning, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. See you next time at Pike Creek Farm.